Dojo, London UK Dojo. So there's loads of clubs in the dojo, which I'll tap into quickly just because I mentioned them. So you can create your own club. So we can have an Agni club. You can do private clubs as well. Oh, you've done it.
Yeah, I did.
I should so join this club. I'm
I
requesting.
Yeah,
Nice.
I made to like request to join. I don't know yet whom I want this to be with, but
Sure, you can choose.
Which
No,
was
you can
great.
choose to not let me in or not. You can.
Wow.
You can make it
That's-
unlisted as well.
That's the. I can't believe you already made your own club, Agni. That's amazing.
Well, I did some work yesterday. Yeah.
Wow. No, fantastic. No, there are some secret dojos within the dojo. You know, people that they come in and they have the club because they have their own ideas about how to improve. So they want a club with like-minded individuals. It makes sense.
Secret between the dojo. Nice.
I think it's a great part. Yeah, actually, we want to do more with this. We want to have like more features for the club, and then like have like clubs be able to like challenge other clubs and do all kinds of stuff.
Okay.
But by the way, we're live now on Dojo's channel. So hello,
Awesome.
everyone.
Hello.
We're here with Matt, who people hopefully know, and Agni, who is very new. I don't think you haven't been on our channel before, right?
No, I don't think so.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello.
Today we're going to be showing Agni around the site because she just joined and has been already actually gotten a bunch of work done, made a club. So fantastic.
Oh, and I did a few tasks yesterday also. The puzzles are hard.
They're so hard. They are like
Very hard.
They
We
made
were
me realize.
struggling.
They made me realize I was bad at tactics. Like my chess.com tactics rating is like 3K. And then I did some dojo puzzles and I was like, excuse me?
Oh my
Where's this
God.
come from?
I'm right now like barely 2,300, but I haven't really much been like solving rated ones, but I'm trying to get like, to 3,000. I think like that's a shame to be like below 3,000 and just come.
No,
Yeah,
no.
anyone lower than 3000chess.com should just like just quit chess.
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. So clubs, we've got that. You can make personal private clubs as well. So I've done one with my training partner. So you can as you can see like your cohort, but you can see the rating change. And if you scroll across, you can see like how active someone has been in the last 7 days, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to kind of keep track that way, or it's a public club where, everyone can join and then you can all see who's top of the leaderboard for doing your training. So coming back to the training, when you click training plan, you'll obviously have your own profile. So there's a lot going on here and we are simplifying this, which we can give you a sneak peek to later. So a lot of feedback that we get when people first join, as well as, there's a lot to go through and getting your head around it can be a little bit daunting at first, but it's kind of straightforward. The way I would summarize it is that the dojo, as it currently is a training plan, and it's got all of your tasks for your rating band. So as you can see, you've got my name, and then it's got the cohort I'm in. So I'm 16 to 1700. The dojo is really cool because no matter what rating you've got worldwide, ChessDojo has created a system to normalize those ratings. So if you're a FIDE rating, or you've got a chess.com rating, or a UFCF or ECF, or whatever your local rating is, they're all normalized. So you'll get your own dojo rating, and it's figured out what a 1900chess.com is versus a FIDE versus your local rating. So it puts you in a band dependent on what you choose primarily as your rating. I've got my chess.com as my main rating. So you can see if I click ratings, you can see my rating performance on Chess.com. And that's the one I used as my preferred because I'm most active on. I've got my FIDE rating as well. And then my tactics rating for ChessDojo is terrible.
Sorry, Matt.
Yeah, I know. I do have one excuse. One of these tactics tests, I took a video for ChessDojo, and so I just logged in and left it run, and it timed out, and so that got like no rating. So it's pulling me down, I promise. So you got your ratings, then you've got your training plan. We've got a lot of tasks here, and this is what's getting simplified in the future. But I'll just collapse everything for now. Everything is categorized. So we've really broken things down into firstly, welcome to the dojo. So if you're new, you've got a few things you can do. So you've got an intro. When you click on each one of these, it gives you some information, and then there's a video for you to watch as well to kind of talk you through the dojo and say welcome. Then we've got join the Discord. So this is where you can find the link to join the Discord, which is a big part of finding your sparring partners. There's channels for books and things like that as well. So I went into the Simple Chess channel when I was reading Simple Chess, and posted some of my notes and stuff in there. Or if there's any specific tasks, there's all sorts you can do in the Discord channel. We can probably kind of show you and run you through that in a bit. But one of your questions being, how do I find the sparring partners? We've got little sparring sections in the Discord that you can post saying, I'm looking for someone to spar this position in this rating range, for example. And then people can kind of drop you a message or reply back in the thread. And then you can organize between you where and when and how you find that.
Okay.
Finding a training partner isn't a requirement. I've managed to just get a training partner thanks to a dojo stream that happened a few weeks ago as well. So Rachel, or Rach Angel, who's on Twitch as well. Some of you guys might know her, but we're roughly the same rating, so we're going to be training partners. So each week we'll be doing a stream on Mondays doing our dojo summary.
Oh, that is so nice.
Yeah, so that'd be really good. Maybe we could do like a trio, but you're a tiny bit stronger than me and Rach, so that would be good for us. Maybe not so good for you.
That's very nice. Yeah.
Agni, what is your FIDE at? I think I saw it on your profile, but I didn't.
It's 1927 now, I think.
Cool. And are you because I know you've been like streaming some tournaments. You have some tournaments coming up you're preparing for?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I am preparing for some tournaments. I will play Women's Chess Championship in like Lithuania, then some tournaments over the summer, and then I don't know. We'll see. But I'm planning on playing this year some tournaments.
Nice. Oh, here we have your profile.
Yeah.
Great.
At least my chess.com rating right now makes sense.
Yeah,
Before it was like 1.7 or something, and people were like, "How is your chess.com rating lower than your FIDE?" I'm like, "Okay, I'll increase it."
Yeah, exactly. And then you destroyed everyone in the Creator Cup.
Well, I have to.
And put them all
People
to
are
shame.
making fun of my FIDE rating.
Yeah.
Rating shamers, unbelievable.
Yeah,
I would never.
Truly.
And great, you've already actually filled out a task as well, which is awesome.
I did a little bit.
So I'm gonna dart back to mine real quick, just because as you can see, I've sort of ramped up my rating progress. So we have the training plan, which essentially is a task list. So when I collapse everything, you can see that we've broken down into games and analysis, tactics, middle games and strategy, and end games. The higher up you go in a cohort, the more there is to do. So one important thing is that this is my cohort, but as you can see, we've literally got every rating band covered up to 2400 plus.
Yeah.
So if you are, sub 1000 or just starting, 0 to 300 has a lot less tasks. So if I expand everything, you can see that the suggested tasks that pop up: play 10 classical games, take checkmate tests, and annotate classical games. But the games and analysis is quite a big part of the dojo. Playing is being able to play a game with someone, talk through it with them and understand their ideas, and give them your ideas and sort of help each other that way. And then we have a lot of different tactics tests. So for the first 0 to 300, the Polgar book, there's checkmate in ones as the first tactics you should do for anyone, and go through those. And then we've got tactics tests and other books.
Those tests are horrible. Like, I mean, they're good, horrible, but they're like. So I thought like, okay, an hour for like 10 puzzles, like that's easy, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We got like 6 right only.
Yeah. I'm so with you. Like it was a real cold shower for me when I did those tests. Like, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, but we do the test in a different way, as you found out, because you got to like enter in the variations. I think it takes some getting used to. I think like we're still building out tests, and the plan is to have like a lot more and like different categories, like endgame tests, positional tests, and like give you all kinds of different types of tests that you can take. We also want to just give people the ability to just do a couple problems at a time and not have to do like a full like hour-long thing. But once you do a couple of them, I think you do get better at like kind of the way we have it structured, because it's not like move by move like your typical like tactics trainers. But yeah, don't worry about it. Everyone suffers on these tests. They're really hard.
But you don't have to do everything at once. You can like go out and then it saves your results.
Yeah, you can pause. You can pause the timer. So
that's true.
Yeah.
You've picked up on so many things that people don't know on the site, which is great.
I wanted to go like to make a coffee, and I literally just like turned this off, and then it came back to the beginning, and it just stopped. So like yeah.
And it saved your progress.
Yeah, and it saved.
So yeah, I'm
Beautiful.
probably gonna destroy myself, but beginning this test just so people can see as well.
Problem 1. That's a problem.
So this is the easy test. There's 30 here, so obviously I'm not going to do these. But we, as you can see, like okay, there's some simple tests. We've got a hanging piece here. Take the rook. You do have to, when you make a move, the move comes up. But the thing is, it records all of your moves that you make. So if I were to do this, or maybe I should have done one wrong first, but bishop d4, it goes, this move will not be counted as part of your solution because it was the second move I put in. So it commits to your first choice, but also it figures out the lines as well. So you've got to make each move and each line, and then you'll get scored on
maybe check out one of the later problems, because there might be like one with a couple
of moves
variations. Yeah, so here, for example, like the way the test would work is, okay, the answer would be g5, and maybe that's the only move you have to input, but just for safety, what you would do is you would play g5 on the board, and then you'd play bishop takes g5 and pawn takes, and then that would be kind of like the end of your variation.
Yeah, if you didn't play bishop takes and then pawn takes, you'd probably lose 2 points.
2 points?
Honestly, a lot of them are, like if it was my test, I'd give you full credit for g5. I wouldn't force you to like, but some of them you do have to find like the second move. You do have to find the follow up, and then you're graded accordingly.
This also is the 0 to 1000 test. So obviously, as you get harder or higher up, the solutions are take 2 or 3 moves, and then it's important that you also look at the branches of those moves. So you might get full score for doing one branch correctly, but if you miss another branch, you might not achieve the full points. Cool. Okay. Where's the pause? Pause. There we go. So
yeah, come back to those when you're fresh.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easier than chess tactics from scratch, I can tell you that. So in essence, you have all your tasks. I've pinned a couple of tasks to my suggested tasks because I'm reading chess tactics from scratch at the moment. When you click on your tasks, you can update your progress. And so I'm on chapter 10. I would put in the hours I did, / if I went up a chapter, any comments that I wanted to. And then when I click update, that would update in the newsfeed, but also just update on my profile. And then it shows up on your heat map, which you've already done. Yeah, you can expand. You've already done a task, so you've seen it light up. But
I saw some lights too.
Yeah, great. So dependent on the type of work you're doing, as you can see, I've got purple, some purple, which is middle games and strategy. And then as you can see, I've been really heavily focusing on tactics the past couple of weeks and one hour of openings. This is because I did a couple of Dojo tactics tests, realized I was terrible, and was like, right, I'm focusing on tactics. So that's going to be a big part of my plan moving forward for like the next month or so. There's a kind of 4-week cycle recommendation that ChessDojo have. If you are in Welcome to the Dojo, you can click Review Weekly Training Plans, and there's a recommended training plan depending on how many hours you want to spend on chess each week. These are just like suggestions for people that truly have no idea. I mean, Agni, you're already like experienced player, so you probably have some idea of like what you need to work on, and you can just kind of
focus on that. But the heat map, I want to say, is very powerful. Once you start using it, it basically becomes your religion, because it's just something you got to do every day. And if you get addicted to seeing your heat map fill up, it just guarantees that you're going to be doing chess work like throughout the week.
It looks nice.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's look beautiful, and it's like, wow, okay, this guy, this guy
looks nice.
is serious. And yeah, as the year kind of fills out, it's just going to be.
I mean, there's people with a full year of heat map. Like mine is nothing on a lot of people's. Obviously, it's only recently that I've really decided to take it to the next level. But it's incredible, some of the heat maps. I also want to try and see if I could do some kind of image or word throughout the year. So I'll choose one week. Let's see if I can write ChessDojo. I've got to calculate what squares I need to do.
Yeah, you definitely have to calculate.
Wow, yeah, that should be doable. That should totally, wow. Let's do that.
Okay.
Sounds great.
Taking it to the extreme. So this is the thing that, as I've started, has become the thing that's making me come back and do everything, because I don't want to lose my kind of heat map streak. And I'm actually getting sad if there's a little grey box now. So that's good. I think that relatively you can see your progress in the new UI. This is getting all simplified a bit, and we'll have weekly suggested tasks, daily suggested tasks, so you can log in, and instead of suggested tasks here, it will say these are today's recommended tasks, or these are today's tasks, and then you'll be able to see your weekly tasks as well in another tab and stuff like that. Okay. But hopefully we can show you a little bit more what that's forming to look like. It's not finished yet, but everything is getting a bit simplified.
Yeah, can we try logging into the beta, Matt?
Well, I do actually have it up, so here we go.
Oh, nice.
Here's the beta.
So basically, we're like testing this out like literally this week, and we're hoping to roll it out eventually to everyone, because this is always what people ask for. They just want to know, like, what do I do today? What do I do this week? And the idea is.
I think that was also my question. My first question.
Absolutely. Like, we hear you. So our solution to that is basically we'll ask you to input how many hours you have per day or per week that you have available to work. And then that'll tell you how much to spend on each different task, like whether it's by book or to do a sparring task or play a game or what have you.
So I've just updated my hours, and as you can see, I've said I've had an hour 45 each day, and now it's just updated to doing 35 minutes of mate and twos, 35 minutes of tactics.
Oh wait, we still see the other view, Matt, I think.
Oh, I see. Oh, cool. Yeah, I was just scrolling through it all as you were talking then, as if. Okay, let me present something else.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's because I changed tab, but Google's a bit smarter than it needs to be. Okay,
Great.
There we go.
Yeah,
Here we go.
So this is the new view, how it's gonna look like?
That's right.
Yeah, so as I was just saying, and you couldn't see, I just updated all my hours. So like, let me just put in 0 or 45 minutes on each day, for example.
Yeah.
So actually, Matt, wait, before we do this, if you could just click on full training plan. So basically, like, to go back to the view we just saw, you just go to full training plan, and then your full training plan still kind of stays the same.
Okay.
It's just like a way to see your daily and weekly tasks. You're not just bombarded with all these books you have to read.
So what if you play some weekly? You see what you have to do for a week?
Yeah. So at the moment I've got 45 minutes. I scheduled 45 minutes in each day, and it's telling me to solve Polgar mates and twos. But if the algorithm is getting fine-tuned as well to kind of suggest what is a more bespoke recommendation of kind of where your strengths are and things like that. But okay, now I've put in some more time. It's got solve Polgar mates and twos for 35 minutes. Chess tactics from scratch 35 minutes, and reassess your chess for 35 minutes.
And what about the other days?
They're probably just the same, because I'm covering 2 books at the moment. So mates and twos. Actually, these are all books, so these will all be quite atomic. But this is where things are still in development in terms of how we're feeding you tasks. I've also got these pinned as well, which might actually, it's because I pinned them. I've pinned all these books on my profile, so it's
yeah, because for example, you got a big training plan and maybe you decide you want to read a specific book, so you just pin that task so that it just feeds it to you and it says like, all right, do 45 minutes of this task that you wanted to do, and then you can and then how much you do, will kind of vary from day to day, but the idea is that you then click it, you would log how much you did, how much time you spent, and then that tracks it for you nicely and shows you how much you have left, how much you worked on this week, and so on.
Okay, that's interesting.
So yeah, and then we've got this overview on the right hand side where you can see all of the tasks you've got for your cohort, and then you can see where most of your time is going. And obviously I'm spending
Tactics.
a huge chunk of my time on tactics, because that is the way. calculation and tactics work for me.
Well, that's fine. You gotta start somewhere, and that totally works. And yeah, the idea is not to work on everything all the time because there's really too much, but rather pick, like, I would say one of these main areas, like tactics, middle games, end games, openings, and kind of do a lot of that first. Also while you're like playing games, analyzing your games, and then once you do a little bit of one category, then switching, to a different one.
Yeah, so I'm coming up to like the end of my 4-week cycle where I will probably switch out to maybe some middle games and strategy because I've just done like a whole bunch of work on tactics. You can let me switch tab as well because I don't know what else is in development that we may or may not be able to share.
What about those tournaments and games tabs? Those were like the most not clear, I think.
Great.
They do.
Yeah. That's good to know as well in terms of feedback because same with the kind of the daily and weekly tasks, we're trying to always improve the site. So if anyone is using Dojo or finds anything confusing, please do let us know because we're always trying to make it slightly better. So if we come over to tournaments, is this showing up on your screen as well? Just double check. Great.
Yeah, we see. What
Great.
is this,
so yeah, basically the tournaments are online tournaments that we run. That you're totally welcome to join if you want to play some online games. So we have a couple different ones. One are round robins, which are basically open to people in the program. And we just group you with people in your cohort that you're close to rating with. And once 10 players fill up a group, we just start the tournament and we give you like 3 months to complete your game. So most people, they try to schedule like one game a week. And the idea is like it's very flexible because you can just schedule your games for whenever works for you. If you have to miss a week, you can reschedule for the next week because you got like 3 months to play all your games. And then we have like some weekly tournaments as well that we run on like Lee Chess. I think we do some on chess.com that are like more like rapid tournaments. That's the Dojo Liga that we call it. And then we have our open classical tournament, which is a weekly classical where you have like one game per week you schedule with the opponent. And then you guys play somewhere on whatever site, you report the result, and then that shows up here. You definitely don't have to participate. These are for, because you play tournaments like OTB, which I think is already, challenging enough. A lot of people don't play OTBs and they want to play serious games online, and that's very hard to find. So we try to host our own tournaments for them.
So that's like a ChessDojo training plan. So it's like if you don't have a coach, it basically says to you what you have to do to improve.
Exactly.
That's kind of nice.
That's
the idea. Coach.
Yeah, and hopefully making it like easy for people to like log their stuff and track it and keep track of everything.
Like self-organized kind of environment.
Yeah, and so question for you: do you have like, where do you keep your games? Do you have like ChessBase, use Lee Chess, or what do you use?
How is it called? ChessBase.
ChessBase. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the games database is for uploading your games. If you want to, you can actually use our game editor as well. Low key, we're trying to like replace ChessBase or like have a lot of the same functionalities that people could like. Let's say, Matt, if you click on Analyze a Game and then just do starting position, and then you get to just start from a blank game. And yeah, we have like a full game editor here, which is very nice. You don't really have to use this because like if you're used to ChessBase, I would say just keep doing what you're used to. But if you want to, you can upload games here You can add them to our own database. We also have a database of games that people have uploaded, so you can see other players' games like in your level or a little bit higher than you. You can see their annotations, and that people have found is pretty useful. It's also one of the tasks to like review some games of people.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
In your cohort. And yeah, I don't know. Do you analyze your games? Do you annotate your games much?
I started. Dina kind of forced me to. So yeah.
Oh, Dina forced you. Great. Dina, go Dina. Dina knows. Dina knows. She's a good coach.
Yeah. Still in progress. But she says my annotations are getting better a little bit. So I think that's good.
That's fantastic. I mean, I think just doing it already is useful in and of itself, even if they're not
learning
great or whatever. Yeah, absolutely. At least just forcing you to just look at your games, after the fact. It's just like, oh, this is how I played. All right.
Yeah, I maybe write a bit too much. I don't know what's
oh no,
good
Matt, this is fantastic. This is great stuff.
I mean, you haven't read what I've written yet, so.
No, but clearly you spent a lot of time on this.
A lot of time, yeah, to review.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
I think it helps when the game's a win as well. But yeah, I always try and upload, and then these are visible to anyone on the site. You can choose to not have them publicly visible as well if you want to keep annotations to yourself. Also, just one thing to mention, but I like sort of adding to the database. I think I could be wrong in this, but I think we've got the biggest database of annotated games. I would say one of the biggest anyway. There's a lot of annotated.
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe amateur game. I mean, ChessBase they've got like 100,000 or something.
Yeah.
But amateur games possibly.
Great.
And then so there's the tournaments that you can play. There's the games that you store.
This will change as well. So, for example, if an Open Classical isn't open at the moment, so it's being played, so you can't register, but it will have a registration up here if you click in and it's available.
And then you can play. That's nice. And then I guess like the biggest part is like Discord community, right?
Yes. So I'm just gonna flip over to the Dojo HQ and make sure I don't dogs any chat.
Leak something.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Because
we're an open book.
like the biggest questions that we had from the chat, I think also it was that how to find a partner and how you play those classical games with the partner, and for those sparring positions, how you find also a partner.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that was the questions. Chat, if you have any more questions, you can also write in the chat.
Yes, please. And we'd be happy to answer them. So basically, we have 2 Discord servers. We have one that's public and open for everyone. And we have one that's exclusively for program members. Now, I think one day we'll probably merge them into just one Discord. But for now, we have 2. So for anyone that's like not a member yet, they're welcome to join our public Discord. And we have channels there for like find training partners, and those are like very popular. Basically, they're like forum channels. So people post all the time like, hey, I'm this rating, I'm this time zone, I'm looking for like a training partner. And a lot of people, like I just checked, like those forums are super, super active, which is cool.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah, that they're like active.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people use those. Then we have channels as well there that's like for discussing like, like news and like games and posting puzzles and random stuff. For the training server that Matt is showing here, these are more organized by like your cohort. So there's like different categories. There's general categories that are like for everyone near the top. And then towards the bottom, you have like your individual cohort where you'll interact with people that are in your rating group. So I think both you guys would be in the 1,500 to 2,000 like category basically. So you would probably share some of these channels. And then within these channels, there's like general channel and then a channel like find a training partner and a lot of the same stuff.
So where do you find the training partner? Find a training partner.
Yeah. So here,
Yeah, there's a lot of channels.
There's so many channels.
We realize that.
And if you want like to spar like some position, is that have to be with your training partner or some different?
Can be anything. There's in general, there's sparring here. So this is the sparring chat, and someone today who's available for the next 3 hours. They just posted if they want to do.
Sparring or
And anyone in the
classical,
2100s to 2200s want to do some sparring. So yeah, there's a lot of people posting, and there's some people post little schedules and do bookable and things like that as well, because they're quite available quite a lot of the time and stuff like that. But
yeah, basically there's like a couple ways. So this one is like the general channel for when like you just log in, you're like, hey, I'm free right now. Is anyone free for like a training game or whatever? You could maybe post here, or you could post in your cohort specific one if it's like, okay, I want to train, but you have to be like at least like 1800 or whatever you want to set it to. Then you would only just be interacting with people already in your group.
on your level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to upgrade
a lot
this
of people also, we have a calendar on the site, which is very useful. I don't know, Matt, if we could switch back to that. But if you want to schedule things ahead of time, you could just post on the calendar and then people could book a meeting with you. So Discord is more for like, I would say, quick interaction. But you can also, a lot of people just use the calendar and then they both schedule and book meetings with each other on here. So there's like different options on the left side that you would select, like which cohorts, and then you can also just by clicking on the calendar you can add a new meeting. Yeah, and so this is for basically people that don't have a training partner, like want to find someone. I would say the calendar is a great way to post. You can also use the Discord, but you can also like just do anything in the program with someone outside the program. So if you know people IRL or people you train with normally, they don't have to be in the program. You can still spar with them, analyze the games with them, go through books with them, basically do whatever. But for people that don't have a training partner, like just online mainly, then this is super useful because eventually you find someone, you can work with them. And actually another cool thing about the Discord is we have regular like group training sessions throughout the week. Those will also usually appear on the calendar, but sometimes you'll just see them in Discord as like events. And those are open for members to join. And those are usually pretty cool. People will be going through a book or like analyzing games and solving puzzles. And basically just throughout the week, different, like those are in the Discord voice calls, essentially.
We have few questions.
Nice.
One I think, one we answered about the sparring partners. So I think that we answered Santos. And then they're asking, what is a monthly fee or annual fee?
That is a good question. I believe the monthly fee is $15 a month, but once we get you your affiliate link, you will have some discount you could offer your viewers as well, potentially. So they might be able to get it a tiny bit cheaper. And then yearly, it's quite discounted as well. Versus the monthly, it's $120 for the year. But there's a whole bunch of new features as well that are incoming at some point this year, but it's $120 for the year. Again, they can apply the discount you give them to that if they wanted to.
So that's like 10 per month. Then it's like 10 per month if you buy yearly. I need to calculate. Like my mind's not calculating.
Yeah. Good mental maths, much better than mine.
Okay. Thank you so much for like showing everything.
No worries. I think that covers most of it. You can, in the material tabs and stuff, they're pretty self-explanatory, but that's where you can find the tests. And if you want, like, again, that you can go through cohorts and see all the suggested books. So 16 to 1700, here's all the recommended books if you just want a summary, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's really easy to find the material you need. But in general, the training program is just to facilitate someone to do the work, play a lot of classical games, analyze them, and give you material for your level. Because I think a lot of the time wasted when you're trying to improve at chess is...
It's nice that it's summarized and you have everything in one place.
Yeah.
Especially for people who don't want to pay for the coach, because coach is more expensive, and if you want like to self-train.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is kind of a good replacement.
And one thing I will mention as well before we wrap up is that we do have a free training program also. So if people do want to try it out for free, actually I can't. I was going to try and log in to show you, but I've got a full account, so I can't. But we've got a free version where you can track tasks. It's got some tasks for you. And so you can literally just sign up for free and give it a go. And then if you like it and you want to upgrade, then fine. You can probably do a lot on the free program as well. It's just takes a bit more. It's a bit more manual, and you don't get like all the great features you do, obviously, of the full platform. But it's a really good starting point for anyone that wants to try and start improving, and it will give you some tasks and things to do and focus on.
Yeah, I would say if you're not sure, you can definitely like try the free tier, because then you can see what it's like to like log your tasks, log your progress. Because sometimes it's like you start working on an app and you're like, I don't really like this, and you don't want to stick with it, and then fine. But if it works for you, then you can sign up for the full thing because you kind of know what it's like, basically. So, yeah. Well, thanks, Agni. I don't know if you have other questions, but
no, I think everything was answered, and I think everything else we're still gonna like check it out. But everything looks nice. Thank you for answering all the questions.
No worries.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for hopping on a stream and doing this. But yeah,
Thank
really
you.
fun.
And have a nice evening, or like day. I think for you it's daytime. For me it's evening. So yeah, have a nice day.
Evening to me too.
Take care. Best of luck.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Alrighty, guys. Let's see. Looks like. Oh, just me in the meeting. Oh, Matt's back. No, wait. Let me fix this.
All right.
Oh, why is it?
As well. Uh-huh.
Let me fix the change layout.
Oh yeah. Was there any questions from Dojo?
Yeah, I was thinking I would spend a sec. If there are any questions from our chat, be happy to answer.
I feel like everyone in Dojo chat is probably a Dojoer.
Yeah, people know. They see the site all the time. But the beta view, that's new. People haven't seen that yet.
True.
But hey, we have David in the chat. David, did you have a question? Okra, like the beta view. Actually, could we go back to the beta view and just get some feedback from people?
I'll screw up your layout one more time.
Oh yeah, no worries. No, actually, this Google Meet is very streamer friendly because it's like you don't really have to crop a lot.
Yeah, and you can do the pop out thing on the side and still keep your window and not. Yeah, it's pretty handy.
So
although, have you tried Twitch stream together as well? It's good and bad.
Yeah, I did it. I tried it once and it kind of worked. I mean, it was like new, but it seemed cool.
Yeah, it's the browser source for cams is a game changer. But anyways.
Yeah, so here we go, folks. So this is the beta view that we're testing out this week. I don't know when we'd be rolling it out for everybody. But yeah, the idea is you would see your daily tasks, your weekly tasks, and be able to just kind of log your work. So wait, could you collapse the full week? So I just want to see. Okay, so you can see it by day, and then can you open up the top one? That would be everything for the week. So it'd be like those 3 tasks, 3 hours, 30 minutes each.
Yeah, for the whole week. Yeah. I was getting confused for a second there, but yeah.
And then can you go to your daily view?
Yep.
Hey, we have Blood Queen. Hello.
If you say on a laid out course like this, I'd do it on time. Well, let's go. Maybe, how would you feel about being a ChessDojo affiliate then, Blood Queen? Maybe. Well, if this is going to make you do the work, then you're in.
This is great. So what I want to add is some kind of like streak functionality that tracks whether you hit your weekly goal. Maybe daily goal too. I think a lot of people are. We just had a meeting about streaks the other day, but really cool to see that you hit your targets for week by week.
Yeah,
I
really like
Queen versus
Nice.
We grinded Queen versus Rook for months. Actually, it was a while. But actually, you know what? It was very fruitful. I actually won some big games with like Queen versus Rook. in games. So that one paid off. That sparring truly paid off.
Jesse is troll, right? Yeah, correct. That's what happens when you make GM. You're allowed to troll everyone else.
Yeah, so basically for anyone that just got here, the idea is that you can set your work goal for the full week, but also day by day. I'm not sure if I would set, I'm not sure if there's a way to just set it for the week and have it automatically populate, or you have to just do it day by day. But you choose like your start date for like Monday or Sunday or whenever you want, and then then you choose your work goal for the day. Because some people might not be able to work a lot during the weekdays or on the weekends, so you can customize it however you like, which I think probably be pretty useful. And then there's this option, if you go back there real quick, Matt, maximum time per task. So that, if you hover over that, will be explained. And maybe you could read that.
The minimum amount of time to spend on each working task per day. For example, if you set 30 minutes and your work goal is 1 hour, you'll be suggested 2 tasks each of 30 minutes. If you set it to 15 minutes, you'll be suggested 3 tasks each for 20 minutes. So yeah, essentially you can, your time will then be split, categorized on what's the minimum amount of time. So if I put this to, again, this is probably all being fleshed out a little bit still in development. It hasn't been rolled out yet, so there might be some changes, but I'm interested to see personally what happens if I put in 1 hour 15 minutes on Tuesday, what it says for Tuesday. It should have 1 task for 1 hour, and then maybe it does 1 task for 1 hour 15.
So there's a question.
It's 2 tasks. Got you.
If it matters if you do the Thursday task on Monday. So basically the way it works is in the backend, there's an algorithm. If you scroll up a bit, Matt, and you hover over the right side where you see like the completion of the plan, and the different percentages. Yes, over here. So basically the algorithm takes what you've done so far and is going to feed you tasks based on what you haven't done, what you still need to do. So if you have 0% of something, it's going to tell you got to do the 0% thing and get some points there. Or you can pin your own task if you already know what you want to do, and then the algorithm will populate those in. And so based on your work goal, it's not going to give you more than like 3-4 tasks for the whole week. And it's just going to say like you got to do some of this book every single day. So whether you read like 5 pages of the book on Monday or on Thursday, doesn't matter. It's kind of the same task. Like you're working through it. You're just working through it a little bit each day. So the task will essentially be very similar from day to day. If that makes sense, Doomduck. And yeah, I'm personally very excited for this because it'll make things a lot easier. And Matt, you're in the 16-1700 cohort. You don't even know how many tasks we have in the 23-24. It's daunting. It's like so many books.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm looking forward to just being able to see just a couple tasks.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if it will get it back in. I may have a discussion, but I do like being able to flick through the cohorts. Whether that's needed or not, though, is probably a good thing, because I do tend to look at the other cohorts just out of curiosity. But yeah, I'm the slowest reader ever, so I don't think I'll ever make it to doing those tasks.
Now, to be clear, graduation is always based on rating. And so whatever rating you designate, we've kind of set it up so you have a graduation target. So you're using the chess.com, so for you it's like 1950 basically. And so once you hit that, regardless of how much you've completed in the training plan, of course, you'll be able to graduate. And we have designed it so like most people that graduate haven't completed all of it. I think most of them probably haven't even hit like 80%. I think it's even could be less than that.
Yeah, I graduated from the last one. I didn't do too much of the last cohort.
Yeah, so there you go. But the idea is that if you do everything, then you really should be improving, and because hopefully it's kind of covering all your bases.
And I suppose that the focus is on improving every area of your game, essentially. So you can probably hone in on a few weaknesses, but also this is trying to make you like a well-rounded player.
Yeah,
in
like you've
general.
got your pie chart here. So over time, this should look pretty balanced across categories. It doesn't have to be balanced like every single week, but over time, you should have like a healthy chunk of everything.
Yeah.
In terms of the breakdown by the time. The score breakdown is like the dojo points, which is like the specific task, but especially in terms of the time breakdown. Yeah, you want that to eventually look like a healthy pie chart.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
At lower
Interesting.
levels, I would say you do want the you got the Pac-Man on the left. At lower levels, you do want that because that means you have a lot of like games and analysis, and that is what a good pie chart
I love
looks like.
that. That's a Pac-Man as well.
That's the only way I can explain it. Yeah, it's yellow. Yellow is
Yeah.
games and analysis. You want to be playing more, analyzing your games, and yeah, it's good. It's good with me. Yeah, I think maybe we need a couple of these graphics to show people like what a good pie chart looks like at various levels.
Yeah, I suppose if I go all time. Yeah. Okay. Read some more chat. I don't think that is all time. 365 is probably more accurate. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Okay.
Nice. Ooh.
Checkmate tests. Oh yeah, they count. I did a whole bunch of checkmate tests.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
yeah,
although
that's
one
a
of
part
one
of
of them
tactics.
isn't rated because there's not enough people that have done it. So that's also was a thing I wanted to potentially ask about as well, because how are the ratings scored on checkmate tests? Because I think that's really interesting. I think I got a vague understanding of it, but
Yeah, maybe we could go to the test page because actually I think maybe others had questions too. Basically, the way we've designed the test to be scored is that you're graded against how others do that are near your rating, right? So for all the tests, like we try to have a bunch of people take them, and once people take them, we can kind of judge the test, right? Because players that are higher rated will generally score higher, players that are lower rated will generally score lower, and eventually we get this kind of like line where you can compare yourself. So if a test has like 100 points available, yeah, here we have like the results. I think so. Like if a test has a certain number of points available, you can see like, okay, you scored 45. That's roughly around the average of like an 1800 level player or 1700 level player, or whatever. So that's kind of the concept behind it. I don't know if all the tests have had enough takers to have like really accurate data, but that's kind of the vision.
So if I go into like, for example, the score, what is
And this one actually looks pretty good because it's like the red dots represent the higher cohorts, and we generally see the red dots kind of scoring higher in this chart. And then the purple is like the middle, and the blue are like the lower cohorts, and those are more on like the left side, having like a lower score. So this test seems to be functioning
yeah.
well. And so people are judged based on how well they do compared to how well others their rating do, if that makes sense.
I'm gonna say this guy who's 1400. I like these tests I found so hard. I was most happy with this one because I was like where I should be, kind of vaguely on the line. But yeah, it's really, I find this really fascinating because you can see like some outliers that are just really good in one area.
I guess with this line, you want to be under the line. Is that right? Because that means you would have a larger score but a lower rating. If I'm reading this data correctly.
Yes. You want to be under the line. I don't think I've been under the line on any of the tests. I sit closest here.
But that's okay. I mean, the tests I think are still, because like we did like the first couple of tests, and I think they're pretty good for what they are. But we still definitely want to develop this more so that you can take like individual problems, and we want to have more tests because for some of the groups there's only 3 tests they can take, so then they can't take any more. So yeah, we definitely want to have more of these. But I think the tech is super cool, and there's a ton of potential.
I really do find this really interesting. Like you say, you can see the people who like, and also you can see actually there's a fairly even spread of everyone apart from like when you start hitting like the red, and then you can really see maybe like a calculation improvement, because you can see actually people of 1800 can smash it or can just be terrible. And so that's really interesting to me in terms of the type of player that you are. Like, so these guys are probably like really solid or like positional or like don't really calculate. And then these guys are probably like the tactical beasts.
Yeah,
and
these
we'll be in really sharp
checkmate
position.
tests are definitely not easy. Like you got it. I've been doing some I just started the polar puzzles. I've just been practicing them. Not that easy, you know. I'm going through them. Yeah, you know, some of them can be quite perplexing, you know. So they take some work.
Nice. Show us the week if you unpin those tasks. Well, I need to go back and repin all my tasks.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if the algorithm is fully working on the beta yet, but that was the idea behind it.
Yeah.
I think they might still be testing it, but yeah, I think it is, well, hopefully gonna work so that it generally recommends you to kind of stick with one book for some period of time and not have you like switch over to a bunch of different stuff. But I think a lot of people are just going to start pinning tasks. Like I pin tasks as soon as we were able to pin tasks because I already know, like, okay, I'm working through these books, so, and I'm annotating my game, so let me pin these tasks so I can quickly update them.
Because books and stuff are like, but that's the thing, I suppose. It's getting, once this iteration comes through, I think I will probably lose a lot of the pinning because I will just be following the tasks that are suggested, and it's going to make life so much easier.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, this is looking pretty cool.
If the task expires after X amount of time, the score should expire as well. You redid all of them after a year, but the old one remains. I also actually feel that in terms of the tactics test, I know there's probably some changes coming, but your attempt 1, after a year, it would be good if your attempt could expire, or if you haven't done. Thing is, I suppose it's hard to say, because I imagine, well, we've got 10 tests. I've done number 5, but there's no rating yet, for example, and things like that. But this comes with time.
Yeah, so I'll tell you what the vision is. So what we want to do is atomize the problem. So basically let people solve puzzles like one at a time and kind of get a rating from that. So not have to do a full test. And I think we're going to keep tests around, but what I imagine what we might do in the future is have the test just pull a random selection from the puzzles and give it to you so that you could, because right now the issue with retaking a test is that you might remember some of the solutions, so it would just be much easier the second time. Even if you vaguely remember the idea, that's already kind of like a big hint if you've solved the puzzle before. Yeah. I do think after a year it does kind of make sense to retake the test, so I don't totally see a huge problem with that, but I think it would be better if the puzzles were different when you retake a test. And so I'm gonna hope that that's what we end up doing, because we're definitely gonna have like the ability to just solve individual problems, and then I'm hoping we'll have a testing functionality where you can do a test of just randomly picked problems for your level according to the type of problem you're looking for, and then yeah, you can take as many tests as you want basically. And hopefully, you know, we mentioned this, but we're working on like endgame tests and eventually positional tests and opening tests and so on, and then opening ratings, endgame ratings, positional rating.
That'd be really cool.
Which I think would be fun, yeah. And then you can see like where your strengths are at, and yeah, I think like once we got like the ability to do like individual puzzles, we're gonna, I think, be gung ho about like creating puzzles, because there's so much like material out there, and we just have to figure out how to like annotate each puzzle properly so that it can be scored by the system, and then bada bing, bada boom. I don't know. People will be able to
see how good they are in endgames.
Finally improve their calculation. Yeah, because I really hate all these like dumb tactics trainers. You get 3,000 puzzle rates.
Chessable. I really don't like training any form of tactics, or well, actually anything. I've never really used Chessable, but I got chess tactics from scratch on Chessable because I thought it'd be an easier way to go through the book, or at least the puzzles. But actually, yeah, there's something about when you make a move and you make a wrong move and it snaps, like, or it gives you the correct move straight after is painful because it doesn't allow me to like work it out. I'm sure I can change the settings, but
maybe
yeah,
that's a setting you could change actually. Yeah, because I don't like that either. It's kind of abrasive. It would be better if you just got a second try.
Yeah,
I agree with you. Yeah, I mean, I like it. Yeah, I like it for some stuff. For sure, like some tactics courses, some in-game courses. Actually, I think it's kind of useful because it's like I think it's good to like repeat your end games, like your end games you must know and that kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely could be better, but yeah, I'd say it's pretty good. Let's see. So yeah, what do you got next for your training?
Chess tactics from scratch still.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. I need to do my Polgars and then chess tactics, and I'm going to play in the Four Nations Chess League in not next weekend but the weekend after, and so I'll probably do some opening stuff because you don't know who your opponents are. You get paired like an hour before each game, and there's so much time though. I just like to know that, like, or openings that I'm not comfortable with, I look over to try and just avoid any traps, and then I will figure it out on on the board because you have 1 hour 50 plus 50 minutes of move 40 and a 30-second increment all the way through. So I've had like 7.5 hour games at the 4NCL. So it's it can be long, but the time is good. I if I have time, I'm pretty chill.
Well, cool. Good luck. I want to see those games. Maybe you can show them to me after.
Yeah, I'll all of those always get uploaded to my my ever growing games doc, and will be added on Dojo as well. So annotated as well.
Nice. Yeah, no, I started putting up all my games up too. I'm hoping one day we'll do more with that as well, but that'll be a future thing. But yeah, for anyone that doesn't have ChessBase, like Lichess Studies is a good option, but you can also use this, the games editor, because we got no limit number of games you can upload on the site, and
you can create folders and stuff as well, right?
Exactly. If you go over to files, which is right next to games, this is our basically our building of ChessBase here, where you'll be able to have different folders, and within each folder you can have games, or you can have more folders to kind of organize your games. So for example, for me, I have a database of all my tournament games that are annotated, but then I'll also have a separate folder for my opening files, and then different databases for, let's say, like if I have like an E4 repertoire, D4 repertoire, or an opening for black against E4, opening for black against D4, that'll go in a different database, but probably within like an openings folder. So very, very useful. Also for me, like, okay, in my ChessBase I have a bunch of folders because I have a lot of like teaching materials and puzzles and annotated games and stuff. But one day I might end up, I actually started like uploading a lot of my like annotated games up to the site as well.
Nice.
So this is pretty cool. Like you can make folders here, and it works pretty well so that like when you upload a game, you can move it around easily. So you can move it in a different folder. You can also have the same game in multiple folders, which I think is new. I think that that's like a new thing. Because like normally like on your computer, if you have like a file, it has to be in one. You can't have one file in like multiple folders. You know what I mean? Like it has to be in like one folder. But here you can have a game in multiple folders.
Sure.
And then if you update it in one place, it gets updated everywhere. And I'm pretty sure if someone else has an annotated game, you can kind of save it to one of your folders. And then if they update it, then it gets updated for you as well.
Nice.
which is pretty cool. We haven't like fully explored this because I think it's actually like very cool functionality, but
Yeah, it'd be really good to have folders for like openings and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really know how to make an opening file per se, but at a point where I do need to probably put down a repertoire into something and put my own words on it.
that is
That would be
that
really
is a
handy.
coming, let's say frontier. We want to do like an opening trainer and then maybe like a repertoire builder as well. You know, we do have some opening courses. I don't know if you've checked those out, but you can show them if you go to material.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, so these are, we sell these, but these are all available for members. So if you're a member, then these are included, I think, with like a few exceptions. But yeah, we have some different openings here that might work for you. And they're for different ranges. Like we've got like more courses that are like expert. You'll see like the expert tag on them that are like more involved, like high rated. And then we have starter courses, which I think would still be okay for you. Because these are going to be more compact repertoires and like much fewer lines. Definitely not like, you know, the 1,000 variation repertoires you might see on like other friendly websites, but something more like manageable. And for my course in particular, I think for David's course as well, we really try to hammer it not just with lines, but actually like if you click into it, you'll see like we got model games, exercises, sparring positions, and that's just as big a part of the course as the PGNs itself. So here Jesse has like some videos and then both sparring positions and exercises you can see on the right side there.
Yeah. Oh, sparring position. Right. Yeah. Cool. Great.
And yeah, hopefully we'll have more opening courses in the future, but we got a couple for now.
Wow. Yeah. No. This is handy. I hadn't looked through this. Oh, these are great. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and cohort range as well. Cool.
Yeah,
also,
exactly.
I suppose coaches that join the platform as well can make courses for the dojo and sell them if they want, or have them as included for their students.
Yeah, I think we would want to do that at some point. Absolutely. Especially like once we have like our opening trainer more built out, I think maybe we'll look into that. With the idea being that whatever course you have, you can just immediately pop it into like the trainer and drill some lines. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do the thing, but yeah, we want to build that at some point. People say it's doable.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean the opening trainer. I mean, I think it's definitely a useful thing. I think that like a repertoire builder would also be very helpful.
Yeah.
Kind of like.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, like, and I'm assuming a lot of other amateur players as well. I could build my own kind of repertoire opening file, but like knowing from someone who's been through it all, like the efficiencies of doing that and what's a waste of time and what isn't. Like how should I start an opening file? What does that look like? And
Yeah.
how many lines should I be looking at, or all that kind of stuff. And what knowledge do I build over time? Like, for example, I've chose essentially 2 openings to stick with. Obviously, I have responses to other things, but I played the Scotch and the French defense. Essentially, it's like I play E4, and then against E4 I play French, and then D4 I used to play a semi-Slav because it was like the French, but I only fell into those. I started playing those at like 900 ELO, and I sort of fell into theory by just trial and error more than looking up the openings, which was great. And I feel really comfortable in those, but also at the same time I don't really have any opening files from them. It's just sort of acquired knowledge, and actually I think to get to the next level of solidifying some of those, I probably need to like actually dip into it properly, and I don't know where to start.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's not an obvious source of material that tells you like, oh, here's how to do an opening file when you're just starting out, or like if you're a more intermediate player or advanced. That would be cool to have something like that. I'm sure people have done content that is like that, but it's like, yeah, it'd be great to have some material that shows for like different levels. Because really, ultimately, you kind of just want to know what you know, with the opening repertoire. You just want to have a place where you just have like, okay, this is what I'm playing right now. This is my material. And then you go play it. You review your games. Maybe you get caught somewhere. You review your repertoire. You add that line, like, but you just have like a set place where it's like, okay, this is my repertoire.
Sure.
For now, my advice would be to just start like really small and just, let's say, it doesn't super matter what you use, like Lee Chess Studies, Chess Base, our own game editor you can also completely use right now. But basically put down like, what are you playing right now? Like start with your white repertoire, like first move. Your D4 player, if I remember. E4. Okay, so just write down like E4, like Sicilian, E5, like just first couple moves, what you're doing. And then eventually you'll kind of slowly build that out, like individual file against E5, individual file against Sicilian, French, Caro. Eventually you'll build that out even further. Individual file against Najdorf, individual against Dragon, individual. But for now, I would just say like, just start with like the first one. Once it gets too big, then break it up a bit.
Yeah, I've probably got like 100 or so classical games. I could probably just stick them into opening tree and then see what I've done over time.
Yeah, I mean, you could just say like whatever is in your working memory right now. You could just be like, okay, this is what I'm ready to play, today.
Now, yeah.
And then just kind of the point would be to just only add to it what you truly feel good about, so that it doesn't get so unmanageable that you don't know what's in it.
Got you. Nice.
I think that's the best starting advice I would say. Thank you, Rib for subscribing. Thank you. But yeah, that's definitely something we want to have more material soon. So okay, a lot of things I think right now we're focusing on like the productivity side, the gamification.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna hit like problems, I think, real hard soon. And then actually this database thing we also want to improve. And yeah. Soon there'll be truly no excuse. It's just like everything will be available and be like easy and
yeah, exactly. Served to you.
Okay, folks, I don't know if there are other questions. Feel free to say so in the chat. I'll have to run a little bit. We're doing another podcast soon.
Nice.
So that'll be fun.
And I'll need to do my dojo work for today. I haven't.
Yeah, you're training.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't filled out my heat map.
Nice. Yeah, I'm building a new habit. I'm doing Polgar every day.
Nice.
So that's been cool. Now I just finished the book. Actually, I finished this. I'll show it. 100 Tactical Patterns You Must Know. I was doing it on Chessable, but I also got the physical book because I'm doing the course for it. And this is good actually. I'm gonna if you need a next book, Matt, I actually think this one is really good.
I may even switch to it because Chess Tactics from Scratch. I'm getting portions of the sequences, but it's much more complex. Like it's a layer above what the tactic is, I think, is the hard thing that I'm finding. Or like I kind of know, so I'm trying to look at it and set it up. And that's the premise of the chapters beforehand, because it tells you like, this is what you should be looking for in your game. But yeah, I'm not sure if their system, it makes a lot of sense to me, but it's kind of how my brain works around tactics anyway in games, like a similar level. So I'm always looking at how I can set things up. But when I'm looking at the tactics from the puzzle, I find it very convoluted. And then the tactics are always obscure, and there's quite a lot of multiple lines. So I might switch it out. It's good to sit down and calculate, but I think I'm getting like 1 in 3 at the moment of the
you want to enjoy it. And yeah, I've definitely heard that before, especially the test positions in that book are and then I saw it with you. I mean, a lot of them were very hard. I found and yeah, beyond the scope of the
16 to 1700.
Yeah. So for sure, yeah, I feel like in general, if you're not vibing with the book, just like switch to something else. Like you want to kind of look forward to your training and enjoy it. With the Polgars, I've set it up so I have this process where I got like the big Polgar book, and then next to it I have my journal, and then in my journal I have different columns, and for every problem I have this like ritual. I write down the problem number, I write down the first move of my answer, and then I write down how many seconds it took for me to solve it, so that later I can go through and be like, oh, this one took me like 60 seconds. This one,
oh, that's really nice.
A lot of the first ones don't take very long, but then occasionally a one will stump me, and I'll be like,
yeah,
what is it?
Yeah, and it's like, this is a mate in 2. How can it be this?
And then I got a column like marking like if I got it wrong. Like there was a couple where I think there's at least 1 or 2 where I just gave up. I'm like, I don't know, I don't see it. And I thought like the puzzle was like position was wrong, so I was like, I don't know, I don't see it. I don't think there's a chicken here. And I ended up missing it, right? So but I have this like nice, and then I track like every day, like, all right, here's how many puzzles I did. So I just feel like you got to find something that's like fun, and then the work goes by in a breeze.
Sure.
So yeah, this book I feel like is cool, but yeah, I mean, okay, there are lots of great tactics books right now. We're no shortage.
Awesome. Well, I mean, I can't add anything else. I've just sort of been hijacking and questioning you about how I should set up prep for chess.
No worries. Yeah, happy to help. But yeah, I think we'll probably wrap it up there. It looks like no more questions. So, yeah, folks, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you around soon. I don't know when I'll be streaming next. I'm not sure. I think Jesse will be back Wednesday and Thursday for graduates.